Hi team, Mary Beth here, and today I'm going to talk to you about eating for endurance. So I'll make it kind of brief, but just based on things that I've read and things that I've researched and what's worked for my body, and then I'll send you an article as well, and then you can take it from there and experiment with what works for you as usual. So to start off, for endurance, carbohydrates is your primary source of fuel. So you want to eat the right carbohydrates. 3 days out leading up to our runs, you probably want to top off your energy stores with some extra carbohydrates at each meal. That being said, you still want to consume protein and fat and healthy fats with each meal as well, but you just want to maybe go a little heavier on the carbohydrates than you would normally, and that's in preparation for some two very big endurance runs that we have coming up with Shady Canyon and then New Porco's Drive. So carbohydrates is number one. Then there are some things that I've read about in different books that I just wanted to share with you, and you can use them. They might be placebo, but some of these endurance athletes claim that they've had great success with them. So one of them being Scott Jurek. I borrowed this book from Wes, Eat and Run. He talks a lot about different things that he eats. He eats a vegan diet, and so tons and tons of vegetables to aid in recovery. Very big on omegas. So you can get that from salmon, you can get that from supplements, flax. There's lots of different, I showed you the Udo's oil in one of the earlier videos as well. That's a good source of omegas. And that helps the central nervous system. It also aids your joints and aids in recovery. Another thing is nitrate heavy foods. So that would be beets. Here's one example: beets and carrots, spinach, dark leafy greens. And there's been studies that show that high nitrates that come from vegetable sources can aid in endurance. Then also Scott Jurek talks about in his book spirulina, and there are some preliminary studies being done about the effects of spirulina in endurance athletes, and it may help. Now again, I think with a lot of these foods, you'd have to eat a large amount to notice the effects. And I'm not endorsing you to go out and eat large amounts of anything. I believe in moderation, but take it with a grain of salt, take it as you will. But spirulina, so I found this actually at the store, and I'm going to try it this week. It's a wrap that I found at Mother's, and it contains spirulina. So we'll see. I'll let you know. And then another thing that in Ultra Marathon Man, Dean Karnazes talks about how he does not eat sugar. He eliminates sugar, and the only time he will consume sugar is on his long runs. And so he feels that, preparing the body to utilize sugar as a very quick fuel source is the best way that his body's going to fire on all cylinders. So that's another thing you could try, is only consuming, fast uptake sugars during your runs, and probably maybe right before as well. So there are a few things that you can do. Oh, a big one, caffeine. So there's studies that have been conducted that show that caffeine can help decrease the feeling of pain. So you can work a little bit harder. It also helps the liver release some fat cells and makes them more readily available for use as fuel. So caffeine's a good one. Caffeine is something that I actually do think works for myself. So you can try it. You can try any one of these and let me know how it goes. All right, and I will see you all this week. Happy running and happy eating.